German media are reporting that prosecutors here have issued an arrest warrant for a suspect behind the 2022 explosions on the Nord Stream gas pipeline.
Now, the Nord Stream pipeline story is a fascinating one because now we are aware that we are in a global information war, and the American presidential campaign is likely to be its greatest ever front. Why I say the Nord Stream pipeline story was so exciting is because when that story broke, we saw that wave of information. The Nord Stream pipeline, it was blown up by Putin. Putin did it himself. And then quite quickly, due to social media, we talk a lot about its eels and ales, but one of its benefits is new nodes and networks of communication can emerge to convey truth. But the Nord Stream pipeline story showed us that the first wave of propaganda could easily be thwarted and opposed by an informed public. What do you imagine the establishment fears most? Misinformation that leads to unrest in the streets, or information that challenges the authority that they need to control us? Just let me know in the chat. Let's have a look at this story about the German police seeking the Ukrainian diver that presumably was involved in the explosion of the Nord Stream pipeline. Remember, at the time, we had Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL, on the show, and we asked, would you be able to do that? Would it be possible for a special forces team to undertake the sabotage of a pipeline?
Yeah.
And he'd say, yeah, that'd be no problem. Blowing up a pipeline, I'd do that before breakfast, he said. And I don't think it was a euphemism. Let's have a look at this story.
German media are reporting that prosecutors here have issued an arrest warrant for a suspect behind the 2022 explosions on the Nord Stream gas pipeline. It is believed that the Ukrainian man was one of the divers who allegedly planted explosive devices. 2 underwater explosions were registered on the Nord Stream pipelines off the Danish island of Bornholm in September 2022, months after the start of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The pipelines were supposed to bring Russian gas into Europe, but were not in operation at the time of the blasts.
Terry, this is a very significant development on a story that has drawn a lot of attention in the last 2 years. And the case had really run cold. And now, today, we've learned, according to German media, that in June, an arrest warrant was issued by Germany. A European arrest warrant was issued for an individual, a Ukrainian individual, with a link, with an address in Poland. As we heard, his name is Volodymyr Zed. We only know the first initial of his second name according to German law. And this man is supposed to have worked with 2 other individuals, a woman and a man, all Ukrainian nationals, to have prepared the Nord Stream bombing in September in 2022. And until now, the German prosecutor has declined to comment on these reports this morning. So it's worth just pointing that out. But it's really a significant development because there hasn't been any news since early last year when German authorities searched a yacht on a seaside resort in northern Germany, which people believed that the German media found that those individuals had rented that yacht and used it to prepare this attack. And since then, there's not really been much news. So it's a hugely important development. But as I say, it's not been confirmed by the German prosecutor, worth really underlining that at this stage. And this pipeline project was hugely controversial because Ukraine, Eastern European countries said Germany shouldn't go ahead with it because it would make Germany too dependent on Russia and would remove the financial benefit that these countries and Ukraine serve to reap from the existing pipelines, and the US too was opposed to it. So it meant that there was a lot of speculation and conspiracy theories about who was behind this. And today we may be a bit closer to finding out who it is if these reports are indeed correct.
Even tonally, this news report is somewhat anomalous, isn't it? For those of us that have become accustomed to an unceasing deluge of fast and fatuous information. Just to pause and stop for a moment and be reminded that the Nord Stream pipeline was likely blown up by deep state operatives, potentially this person, although I would never miss the opportunity to say innocent until proven guilty, is a reminder of the power of new media, that they can convey their propaganda, but it will be countenanced. Most of us no longer believe them. Most of us no longer trust them. The next American presidential election will be a showdown between new media and old media. Certainly not my position as an English person, nor as a Christian, to tell you which way to vote, mostly because what do I know? But I do know what authoritarianism, bureaucrats, a new form of technological dictatorship looks like, smells like, tastes like. And the real fascinating aspect of it is it's a truly global phenomena. Whether it's Gavin Newsom in California, Keir Starmer in the UK, or any one of a number of political figures that are emerging to say, we must control agriculture, we must control information, we must deny the spiritual and divine dimension of human beings. There seems to be an agenda. You can feel it, can't you? I feel it too. Surely this is the opportunity for us to find new alliances, to use this technology and this ability to communicate immediately to create a decentralized, unified opposition to their corruption, because we have the means now to expose their corruption. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and the chat, guys. We can't continue to bring you this beautiful content without the support of our partners.
Hey, this is exciting. We've got a great partner today. It's Rumble. But beyond Rumble, it's Rumble's latest venture. Let me ask you first, are you a Sleepy Joe type character with zero cognitive performance, struggling to muster focus and brain power for basic things like running the United States of America? You've got to stop drinking woke liberal coffee that hates you and your way of life and start your day by drinking Rumble's very own 1775 coffee. This is going to be the best tasting coffee you've ever had. Seriously good, ethically sourced from a family farm in the high altitude mountains of Bolivia. Not in the Bolivian lowlands, run not by a family but by a single man still living with a pet. No! Instead of waking up and drinking your big corporation-owned woke ideology coffee that's probably making you sick from the pesticides it's sprayed with, try Rumble's 1775 revolutionary coffee. Support freedom of speech. Build a parallel economy that actually values you and loves you. My favourite? It's dark, of course. I've always found the lure of the dark irresistible. I'm sorry, how can I stay mad at you? But you're just going to have to wait over there for a little while. Level up your morning routine with a 1775 coffee. Sleep all night knowing your hard-earned dollary dues are going towards supporting freedom-loving creators like me on Rumble. Visit 1775coffee.com now. Pick up your first bag. Use the code BRAND to save 10% on your first order. Oh, come on. Why choose, you know?
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.